All right. So I have Bitcoin on the weekly on the Binance exchange just so we could get a nice big macro picture of what we could be expecting and where we're at and all that kind of type stuff. Um all right. So let's draw some lines, okay? Cuz first line we're going to draw is what was our support and what we broke last week, right? So we broke the support, comes dumping down. Well, we broke it probably a few weeks ago, wicking down below. But the price definitely closed last week. Here we are. This is our current week right here. And it just what's the next level? What's the next level of support? And it's all the way down here at 20K about. Let's just get to 20K. Cool. Now, this is an important one because back here in
Yep.
2017, this was the all-time
Was the time.
high.
I
All-time high,
remember that.
2017. It was huge. It was
Good
huge.
times.
I was going in crypto. I was all super excited about it.
What happened?
It was my
What happened?
oh, what happened? What happened? It crashed. Why? Because the market makers, you see all these green vector candles. You see green vector candles like this. Those are the market makers taking shorts, okay? And retail traders going long. And now
Oof.
we're down here, right? It dumped down all the way to 3K. So 20K, 3K. What percentage was that? What percentage? 80%. 80% drop. That one was back in 2017. And it did that before, I believe, 2017. So but we don't have that big of a time machine here on the
Binance.
Binance one. So if you just look in the past, it's done the 80% drop before. Likely it can do it again. All right. And so here's our level of
Next
support that
level.
we are really holding. 20K. We are holding that level of support. Let's hope it holds. Right. Take your hopium. Hope that one holds. Hope this is the bottom. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, but just in case it isn't, what would
Next
be the
level.
next levels?
Mhm.
Next level 12,
Yep.
12, about the 12K range here.
That's why
All right.
I'm
This
like,
was the
we don't want
last
to break
level
the current support levels on Bitcoin and
of
ETH. I'm telling you.
resistance. And if you just see this, if you just see like, we market makers were taking, and there are, right, there's confluence here, right? We have vector candle zones that the market makers want to bring the price back to because they took shorts back in
It's about the
November
last of it.
2020.
That's almost the last of the of it down there.
Yeah,
What else will there
exactly.
be to take? You've taken all of
So
it.
now let's figure out. So if we're used to these, if we see like, okay, the market when it corrects itself, it goes down 80% or so. So let's see from all time high, what is that? What is that 80% drop? That is all the way down. Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Yep.
Would you look at that? 80% drop from all time high is actually 12,000. So what support do I think is most
The
likely the
most
bottom?
important.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and let's look for more confluence. Let's take our fib. Let's go from the low here.
Oh
Let's
yeah. This
do
is when this is when the esoteric shiz gets real. When you start pulling
all
fibs.
right. Yeah, so here's the low to the high on this fib, and it looks like
786.
we're blowing past the 0.65 level.
Mhm.
We are coming down to the 0.78. So if you see now, in contrast, let's do the fib the other way, just so everyone can understand what kind of behavior we can expect. So here, for example, so you hear the 786 line, right? Right now we're approaching the 786 line. That's where we'd expect to probably hit.
Another little
But
bounce
it's kind of,
maybe on the way
yeah, and
down.
it's potentially, I think here what we're gonna be seeing is something similar to what we saw up here in all-time highs. So here, when it approached the 786, it blew past it, right? Once and twice, right? It just kind of goes up there, not too crazy, but it blows past it and then it comes right back down. I could see us coming back, extending past that to nail that 12K, right? That just kind of
Yeah,
makes
good wick
sense.
down there. Yeah.
There's a lots of confluence that says that, right? Um, the other thing is to watch out for is if we do get any bounces, right? Because we could be getting a bounce maybe here on the 20K. I mean, we could be. I mean, this is weekly, so it might not even look like too much on this. Um, but what would that look? Let's get a trend line going here. I mean, I would just imagine it would stay on trend. So yeah, like let's hit the trend line kind of type deal, and then heading right back down. So this is what I'm kind of looking at, these kind of levels. Will it hold this support at 20? I would bet that it actually breaks down to 12 at this moment. And then the other thing I would be looking for is just how long will we be down here, right? Well, this happened in 2017, right? This pump to 20 all-time high, 80% crash down to
Ranged
3K,
for a while. Yeah, for a
back
little
up
while,
to
but then came
20.
back.
Oh
Yeah,
no, not to 20, sorry. Back up to
12.
12, couldn't get past it. So guys, it didn't break
It
that
ranged.
20K until 2020.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
that was about almost 3 years
yeah.
that we were down here. Um, so
And I don't
I
know if
do
I'd be
hear.
surprised if we saw. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe something similar. I mean, because we have so much uncertainty in the next couple of years. You know, who knows what could happen there? But
Right,
we could be down in Goblin Town for a little while, for sure.
few
We
years
could,
for sure.
yeah, we could be
Yeah,
ranging in Goblin Town for a little while.
yeah, and
I
I mean,
know some people want the raging bounce back up to 60, but is that realistic? Without some major change in the market and the economy and the world stage, I don't see that, at least not soon. I personally,
nah. I mean,
personally,
I think the reaching all time high this year got invalidated once it broke. Once it broke this first level of support, because you really needed to hold this level of support to be able to say, "Hey, yeah, this year we could still get all-time highs." Once it broke this level, it's like, nah, that pretty much invalidates that whole theory. So, I mean, I wouldn't be expecting all-time highs at all this year now, just because there's just a lot more confluence that says, "Hey, we're gonna be going down." It's just a matter of, do we hold this, crazy strong 20K level of support? Um, if we don't, what are we where are we going? And I say the next level would be about 12K. And if it broke 12K, I mean, yeah, then you're looking at like what 8, 9K, 3K. I don't want to get that crazy bad, but and there's not really vector candle zones for the I see here on the weekly, on the massive large charts. It says like macro doesn't really say we should be coming down here. Um, I mean, we do have some. I mean, we do have some vector candle zones actually here, but they're very small. I'm not quite sure if we'll get there or not.
I
Um,
know those are so small. It just seems like why chase that when you could go back up and get bigger points of
yeah, because what
liquidity,
I would
but
imagine is like during these, like as we range on these
they're just
levels,
trapping
right?
people at every level essentially
Yeah,
as on the way
as
down.
as yeah. Let's just get these. Let's make it a little cleaner here. As we range in these levels, right? I would imagine we'll create more vector candle zones, right? So right now we have a vector candle zone up here, right here. But I would imagine, right? We come here, we bounce, we hit a resistance, we come back down, right? There's a level here. Could probably, yeah, it just works with the trend line, Um, hits here, comes up, comes back down. We could be ranging here, maybe get a W pattern so it gets everyone bullish, and so like during all this like crazy price action that we could probably see around in this area, um, from for years to come, it's yeah, I'm just gonna be looking at these major levels of support and resistance, and then
That's what we do.
um,
We kind of like we
you
look
got
at
to
the levels
trade.
when it gets to the next
Yeah,
whatever the next level is, then we look at the levels and then you keep
levels,
adjusting. Yep.
momentum. That's what
Yep.
I'm trading on here. Right now, I mean, on the weekly, it's crazy, right? From the 50 MA, it's crazy extended from the 50 to price. So, I mean, the market
Absolutely
makers at some point
insane.
really need to get it returned to the 50
Just
EMA just because.
insane.
And the reason why market makers have to get it to the moving average is because it has to, right? The market makers need us just as much as we need them to
Of
play
course.
this game. And
Well, yeah,
so,
if no one's putting
and
money in,
so
they can't there's no money to take.
so right now, the market makers, they need to get people into a mindset of, oh, I could put money into
Yeah,
this now,
they
and
gotta
so that's
trap
why
you.
they need to return it right to the moving average. So soon, I would imagine,
A bounce back up
I
for a little
like I
bit, yeah.
like the idea of getting a bounce from 20. I don't know, I
I could
like it.
see it. I could see
Yeah.
it because it'd be a perfect trap too. If you're a bear market
Hmm.
maker and you're long term trying to bear, you maybe give a bounce for a couple weeks, right? Back up and give some hopium, and then you just wreck.
Right, and now we go down in these lower time frames. Right now, we're on a daily. Okay, we were just on a weekly, and yeah, you see these candles. It's coming to wick
Mhm.
here, but it's
Yeah,
like, no, we don't
it's
want
having a
really
hard
want to
time
go any
dumping. Yeah.
further. Yeah, VWAP is starting to trend up, so that's interesting on the daily. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour. Hey, you know what? There's looks like to be a bearish divergence, or bullish. Sorry,
Bullish,
bullish
yeah.
divergence. I mean.
Right, bullish, yeah.
Right, because we have lower
Lower
prices, but
prices,
momentum
higher
is
momentum.
starting to pick up. So this is actually, this could be a good place to long from, but understand that, hey, on these time frames, we could just be, claiming some of these vector candle zones, getting up to
Yeah.
the moving average, just to
Oh
level
man,
off the
imagine that.
market here a
You
little
just
bit.
like you bring it back up to 28K and then just bring it back under 20.
Right.
Trap
And the
everybody.
1 hour, I mean, yeah, we're still definitely, I mean, we're getting lower lows still. So I would like to, so yeah, I guess, yeah, there's a div. There I see. We got lower lows, and you know what though? Momentum is starting to pick up. So um it's gonna be kind of really, really rangy down here, and I would expect to see some sort of bounce from this 20K position. But yeah, overall, I see it going down to 12K. Now I'm not financially
Maybe
wise,
it'll be
but
like today it'll be like FUD the rumor by the news with the Fed, right? Like
that
they put
that
something
happens
into
all
it.
the
Yeah,
time,
and then the
dude.
Fed
That
announces
happens
it, and then
all
all
the
of a sudden
time.
there'll be a little bounce for a couple
Happens
days or
all the
something.
time. Yeah, dude. It
Dolph
happens all
says,
the
"Do you
time.
think the entire ecosystem and therefore actual usage of crypto has increased as compared to the last extended dip?" Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
absolutely.
the number of wallets, the number of on-chain activity, the number of blockchains, yeah, I think there's way
Hmm.
more people. The DeFi ecosystem is much bigger. The NFT ecosystem is much bigger. So yeah, I think there's way more people in the market, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, you have a lot more people in the market.
Yeah, I feel like
It's just
2017 and stuff was a little more like it was still the nerds, you know? It was still
for
just the
sure.
nerds.
I mean, we didn't have the exchanges like we do now.
Yeah, the
Back
exchanges
then
were
it
pretty
was.
primitive back then,
Oh
and
yeah, and like back, really, futures
remember
barely
Ether
really even
Delta?
existed.
Does
And
Ether
I
Delta
just
still
think
exist?
there is a shit ton of more people in the space. It just doesn't really matter. That doesn't matter of what the price is, right?
Yeah,
Because you could sit there and say, oh, all these people are holding Bitcoin, but you have to also remember that we're dealing with the futures
futures
market.
market,
So
yeah,
people are borrowing 100% of
yeah,
whatever they're holding. And so it,
yeah.
it totally distorts everything. And there is, that's just kind
But you
of
know what,
the
Matt?
the
At
reality.
least 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin.
I guess it does. Yes, it does. All right. Well, let's
You can rest
let's
easy with
go.
that.
Okay, so
Okay,
that's Bitcoin. Should we here? Let's
yeah,
do some Ape Watch here. Ape
let's check
Watch.
out a couple other tokens, see what
Yeah,
they're
just
looking
real
like.
quick. Just real quick. All
Give us
right,
the
Ape.
hover.
is doing pretty miserable. It is one of my biggest losers. It is down 8% right now. What am I looking at? 1 hour chart. It's at $3. How low can it go? Probably really freaking low. That's what ApeCoin could probably do. Because
Well, because
it's
it's
just
not worth anything.
hitting the moving average,
Sorry,
going
everybody.
down, hitting the moving average, going down. Looks like we just got done maybe challenging moving average again, and it's trying to still challenge the fit moving average. Not sure if it'll get up here or not, but it's yeah, it's not looking good for Ape right now. I mean, 4 hour, we're still. Ooh, gosh, this looks so bad. This looks bad. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Ape
Ape
not looking
looks
good.
really awful right now, down 8%. Everything is down today. How about that? But that's my biggest loser right now. Looks
Okay,
like is Ape, and ETH is down
7%. Yeah.
7%. Wow.
Man, that green wave on that 4 hours barely holding it together there. It
Yeah,
just wants to
it's
give up.
still
It's like, "Please, sir,
hanging
let me just
on.
give up."
I think what it wants to do is say, "Hey, we could be getting a bullish div maybe though."
Yeah, it's
Um,
forming one for sure.
yeah,
Starting to.
I mean, it's hard to say. Yeah, dude, it's ETH is looking pretty rough as
Well-deserved
well right
dumping of
now.
Ape.
Could 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 I would be looking, yeah, looking for short entries like right here. Might be a nice little short entry. But it could be we could be just, yeah. I mean, challenging the 50 MA, come right back down. That's what I would imagine. For ETH. So dang, dude. My best winners, no winners today so far.
Wow. Well, I guess
It's
there you
just
hear it. No winners today, unless you're shorting.
Thank you for watching GMTV.